Hello there my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today, we're talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu. It is now only 199 days away, and many Star Wars fans are excited to see what Jon Favreau has in store for us. There is a little bit of nervousness, a bit of apathy in some cases, but it's our next big Star Wars release, and the first Star Wars movie since 2019. But today we have an update that has got Star Wars fans panicking, because a brand new synopsis shared by Star Wars Japan describes the movie as, quote, a new story of love and loss. Loss? Why does there need to be loss? Is someone gonna die? This is the big question fans are wondering. Is Djarin gonna meet his end? I'm gonna say no. There's no way they're gonna bring Mando to the big screen and kill him off in the first movie. If they are planning to kill Din off at some point, it's gonna be in Dave Filoni's Mandoverse movie. But there's no way the Mandalorian and Grogu is killing off one of the two heroes. So what could Star Wars Japan be referring to? I personally have a few theories of my own. I know a lot about the movie, and my guess is this is not referring to a person, but a specific location. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Mando and Grogu's house on Navarro, their homestead, is lacking from the recent marketing material. It wasn't even in the trailer, and my guess is that while it will appear at the start of the movie, I think it's gonna get blown up. The reason I say this is there has to be a catalyst for Mando needing a new Razor Crest. I know it's really fan-servicey bringing back the same ship from the first two seasons, the one that was exploded by Moff Gideon, and just giving Din another model of it, but we know he treats the Razor Crest as his home, and they're going to be travelling round, and one of the reasons I don't think we see the homestead very much is it's going to be destroyed, and maybe Navarro itself is going to be destroyed. I say this because unfortunately Carl Weathers is no longer with us, and I imagine the movie's going to give us some kind of farewell or tribute to Greef Karga. And so finding a way to end the visits to Navarro might be like turning a new page, closing a chapter in the series' history. It's going to be sad, but I think that might be the loss they're referring to. Another location that fans have mentioned in regards to this post is maybe another attack on Mandalore. Could it be the end of Bo-Katan or the Armorer? I very much doubt it, but just imagine if Grand Admiral Thrawn finishes what Gideon started and wipes out the Mandalorians that just moved there. Now that is a long shot. I'm not even sure Mandalore's going to appear in this season, but someone on Twitter did suggest if they go about this route, it might be a secret, hidden reason the movie is titled the way it is. Maybe eventually, in a really dark way, Din and Grogu are the last ones left, and they have to rebuild Mando culture from scratch. I doubt they're going to go about this route. Now what if they're referring to a specific person? Let's be honest, they're not going to kill off Din, they're not going to kill off Grogu, and they're probably not going to kill off Zeb Orrelios. He's also stated to return in Ahsoka Season 2, so I can't see it being Zeb. But one character I do believe is a candidate for this is Sigourney Weaver's Colonel Ward. In a new interview, Sigourney says she wasn't on set for very long, and the rumours say she doesn't have much screen time. So maybe she's a one and done kind of character, which would be a shame, but she's not part of Mando's legacy, so it would just be a cameo for the film. But I'm also thinking the statement from Star Wars Japan probably isn't that deep, and I say this because there is no way Lucasfilm would allow them to spoil something like this. When they say a story of love and loss, the loss probably isn't referring to any of the protagonists. Then there's the question of Rotta the Hutt, being played by Jeremy Allen White. Do you think they'd really kill off Jabba's son? I'm gonna say no. The actor recently said that in the movie he runs around a lot, and apparently he's going to ally himself with Din and Grogu, unless he does so and dies at the end. Again, some kind of heroic death, maybe for the New Republic. I have to admit the prospect of a running Hutt, whether it's Rotta, Jabba or otherwise, is pretty darn hilarious. They better make the CG look good because I can't imagine what that looks like. A running Hutt with a Mandalorian and a baby Yoda? I mean, come on. But I'm also dead curious, so for better or for worse, I'm looking forward to it, and it's the kind of Star Wars adventure that has goofiness written all over it. Although Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver do caution us, the movie also has some serious and even sad moments, but I don't think tragedy is going to strike any of the main guys. They could be referring to the villains, but would you really call that love and loss? Would you really go about calling the villain's death a loss? I don't think so, but if you guys were to guess, who do you think they're referring to? Now moving on to some other Mando news, my friends. What if I told you that there's a character who originates in Star Wars Legends who might be about to make his first on-screen debut. In the trailer we learn that Rotta the Hutt is a gladiator, and one of the creatures he presumably has to fight is a Mantelian savrip, a species first introduced in the Dedrick board game. But did you know there is already another savrip fighter around during the same period of time, and they might be the same person? In the 1992 LucasArts video game Super Star Wars, there is a monster called Kalhar. He was considered deadly and spent a lot of time on Tatooine. He was a regular in the cantina from A New Hope, and while he was there, other patrons stayed clear of him until a fight broke out, and once, Chewie fought him, and he was considered so aggressive that most people who knew him stayed well clear of his path. And according to the lead animator on the game, he was a Lucasfilm favourite at the time, so I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to bring him back. Lucasfilm loves to make callbacks like this, references and Easter eggs to old video games, niche expanded universe books, deleted scenes, scrapped concepts. Disney Star Wars projects are full of them. And once, the lead animator on the game said this: "One of our favourite aliens from Star Wars came from the scene where Chewie is playing chess on the Falcon, and they're talking about Dedrick. R2's playing piece was beating Chewie's, and we really liked the look of that monster, so we called it Kalhar, and we made it the boss in the cantina level of Super Star Wars. It's like a little trivia game for our players. They know they've seen the creature before, but they may not recall when. And if you're not familiar, this character was described as a giant devil, so he's gonna wreak havoc. And not just for Rotta, but also Din, who enters the ring and fights him. And visually speaking, the outfit is very similar, but it might just be someone inspired by Kalhar." Now here's another bit of speculation that I want to run by you. The movie has an unknown but fascinating connection to the Book of Boba Fett. The Hutt twins, who are Jabba's cousins, who visited Boba and gave him a rancor, are back. And considering the movie has gladiator links and now these Boba Fett connections, do you think we might see Chrysanthemum in the arena? I know he's now working with Boba Fett, but once upon a time he was a mighty Wookiee gladiator, fighting in the pits where he started on his homeworld of Kashyyyk and then travelled the galaxy. For all we know, fighting might still be his hobby, and he might still tour the galaxy now and again. And another link connecting him to this movie is he once worked for Rotta's dad, Jabba, and then his cousins, the twins. So Chrysanthemum, in my opinion, is a likely cameo. I've not heard anything about this, but I'm just throwing it out there because you never know. But some fun Mando updates in this video, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts and theories, so please share those in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and I'll see you next time. May the Force be with you, always.